to join for our yoga practices. And today we have a slow flow focused on softening our edges. So if you're going through a period of feeling tense or tight, or there's just something that you're struggling with, that you feel like you're resisting against, then this is going to be a really amazing practice for you to come back to. And it's going to be a longer practice as well, where we include breath work and meditation, of course the asana, which is the physical component, and these longer practices just really allow us to sink into our practice, to find that home within our body, and just to really immerse ourselves. So you don't need anything for this practice. If you have blocks, then great, have them by the side, but you definitely don't need them. I'm sat on a bolster and a blanket. Always good, especially if you're in England and it's winter right now, to have a blanket nearby. So for our Shavasana, we can just make ourselves really comfortable. I'm going to pop some journal prompts in as well. So we're going to have a little reflection at the end. If you want your journal near, please feel free. I will write them below as well, so you don't have to do them at the time. But journaling is amazing to do right after a physical yoga practice, because it just sort of clears everything, and I always find that my head is the clearest after yoga. So yes, enough talking, we'll make a start. So we're going to start seated. So just find a really comfortable position wherever you are, maybe cross-legged, maybe kneeling. Maybe we find a wall to lean against. Anywhere we can lengthen through the spine, so the crown of the head pulls up towards the sky. We root down through the tailbone. Maybe dropping the chin ever so slightly to close the throat, but not so we've got a strain on the back of the neck. And then the eyes gently close, and we begin to access the body through our breath and through sensations. We invite ourselves into this moment. And I'm going to start with a quote by Rumi, which I love. Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you've built against it and embrace them. So your task is not to seek for love, but to embrace the barriers. And we often have this contraction within us, this almost as saying no to life how it is. And with this contraction, we close, and the tension, the stress builds up in the body. And we have this constant need to be in the next moment, or to be somewhere else other than where we are. We think that the next moment contains whatever it is that this moment doesn't. And it robs us of our freedom, it robs us of our presence. And ultimately it robs us of our life. So in this practice, we will just practice softening to that resistance, to that contraction. We practice saying yes to whatever it is that arises, whether that is discomfort, whether that's even pain. And with this softening, with this saying yes, we allow this aliveness to return to ourselves. We allow this sense of coming home. So just starting with a brief body scan from the top of the head all the way down to the tips of the toes. Practicing saying yes to whatever is in the body, to whatever it is that arises. And seeing if you can find this softening through the face, between the eyebrows, the jaw, the shoulders, the belly, the hips, all these areas that we tend to grip and grasp and hold on to. And then to help us with this process, we really want to focus on our exhale, and this is our release, this is our letting go breath. So we're going to breathe in for 4 and out for 6. And if this doesn't work for you, then please feel free to tune me out and to change the numbers slightly. So just taking a breath in and a release out. And then we'll breathe in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Last time, in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Return into your natural breath. Even Dutchie's breathing along with us. And we're going to move on to a short Brahmari breath or hummingbee breath. Bumblebee breath. But without closing the ears this time. So just keeping the ears open and not covering the eyes, but still keeping the eyes closed. And what this looks like is we breathe in through the nose, and then we keep the mouth closed as we hum out, and we want to feel the vibrations in sort of the chest, the heart space, to sort of shake everything up around this area. So we'll do this 5 times, breathing in. And this Brahmari breath. Let everything soften in the heart space 2 more times. Last time, let it shake up, let it release. Coming back to your natural breath. We've just stimulated the vagus nerve, that connection between the breath and the body that helps to regulate our nervous system, and humming is an amazing way to do this. So just notice how everything feels inside the body now. Good, last breath in. Release out through the mouth. And then just begin to roll these shoulders up and back. So we're going to be going super slow today. Nothing too crazy, and really focusing on our transitions between the movements and just feeling into every single inch of the body. Saying yes and consenting to whatever is there. And opposite way with the shoulders. Good, let them drop and then bring them up towards the ears and let them drop. Big breath in, up towards the ears. Breath out as we let them drop. Last time, breath in. Let it go. Good. Placing the hands or the fingertips just above the knees. Maybe we move the bolster or blocks or cushions out the way as we just begin to swirl and swivel through the spine, keeping those hip points, that tailbone grounded as we bring ourselves into some circles, almost like we're leading with our hearts here. Nice massage for the belly. And we stay the whole time with our breath, which is our anchor. Opposite way. And our breath is our access point to our body and to this moment. So when we feel ourselves start to leave, when we feel ourselves start to say, nope, then this is when we want to bring ourselves back to our breath. Good, coming back to center, right fingertips by the right side, leaning over to the right, left arm over the ear. Inhale back to center, ground down through the fingertips, and exhale, reach over with the right. Inhale back to center, exhale to the left. Inhale to center, find that connection with the ground in the center, and then we exhale. So these shapes, these forms can look however they want to look today. Just reminding yourself that there is no way to do this wrong. Good, back to center. Just taking a swivel to the left, to the right. Just letting the arms be heavy and maybe the sort of give a gentle slap on the back. She's like, what are you doing? I want to be involved. Good, last 3, 2, and 1. Then finding your way back to center in a place that makes sense. Big breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And during this practice, you might want to keep the eyes closed a lot of the time just to really focus that attention inward. Bringing the right sole of the foot into the left inner thigh and extending the left leg out in front. Good, and then we want a slight rotation to that left leg with the torso. So we've got a slight rotation here, flexing the left foot, activating through the left quadricep. As we take an inhale, we'll reach all the way up to the sky, and an exhale to fold over this left leg. And it might be that the left leg is bent, so it gives us a little bit more space. But we'll flow through nice and slowly. So taking an inhale, reaching back up, and an exhale, planting the right hand. Inhale to lift up through the hips, stack the right shoulder above the right wrist. And exhale, plant the hips back down. Inhale to reach. Exhale to fold, heart forward. Inhale to reach. Exhale, the right hand plants down. Inhale, we lift, we expand, open through the heart, through the throat. Exhale to plant the hips. Beautiful. Last time, take a breath in. And a breath out, lead with the heart. Breath in to lift, to rise. Breath out to plant the right hand, and breath in to open, to expand, to soften all of our edges here. And breathe out to plant the hips. Soles of the feet come together, so the knees fall out. So we're in our Baddha Konasana. I'll turn to you. Taking a clasp of the feet with the hands. And really trying to press those knees down towards the ground, straighten through the spine, pull the heart through. As we take an inhale, we fold slightly forward, depending on how tight our hips are. And exhale to round back like a cat-cow. Inhale, we fold forward, we bring the chest through, we sort of arch through the spine. Exhale to round, bring the chin to the chest, we close off. So finding this balance between the opening and the closing. We need both. We need to turn inwards sometimes. We need to conserve our energy to close to the world around us so that we can access ourselves, we can access our inner world. And then sometimes we need to open, we need to lead with our hearts, to open to the life, to the world around us. And then we'll hold in our Baddha Konasana, and it's up to you whether you have the heels closer to the groin or further away. Further away allows a little bit more softness. As we take that fold over, maybe the elbows press against the shins to bring the heart slightly more forward. And then sending the breath to the rib cage, to the back, to all of those spaces that sometimes we forget about. Beautiful. Bringing ourselves back up to center. And we'll take it the opposite way this time. So the right leg extends out, the left sole of the foot against the inner thigh. Take that rotation towards the right as we take a breath in, we reach, and we breathe out as we fold forward, noticing the space in our right hamstring. Breathe in to lift, and breathe out to plant the left hand. Breathe in to lift those hips, and breathe out to plant. Good, moving with our breath. Inhale to reach. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale to reach. Exhale to plant the left hand. Inhale, we open, we spread through the collarbones, through the chest, open through the throat. Exhale to plant the hips. Inhale to reach. Exhale to fold. This message of leading with the heart. Breathe in to rise. And breathe out to plant the hand. Breath in to open. Lead with our hearts. And breathe out to plant the hips. Last time with our Baddha Konasana, our butterfly, soles of the feet together. Good, and this time we're just going to hold, so bringing the heart forward. Elbows on the fronts of our shins if we have the space. If not, there is no force in here, no force in space. And then fill yourself up with your own breath, with your prana or your life force energy as we call it in yoga. Beautiful, let that release. Bring the knees together and just plant the heels and give our knees a swish and a sway from side to side. Lovely, coming forward onto the hands and the knees. Spreading the fingers out nice and wide. Tops of the feet against the mat and just give the feet a little tap. A little simulation of the feet. Good. Press out of the shoulders as we begin to dip the belly, lift the heart, lift the tailbone to the sky, lift the gaze on our inhale. And on our exhale, round through the spine into our cat. Pressing the earth away, pressing the belly button towards the spine. Breath in, we ripple this movement from the lower spine all the way to the neck, to the gaze. And as we breathe out, we round, we close, we find this balance once again. Inhale to open. And exhale to close, to round. Good, and then invite some movement into this, some free movements. So where does the spine want to be? Does it want to be slightly more back in our child's pose or forward into our cobra? Do we want to come side to side, swivel the hips? Find your space here. Lead from the heart. Beautiful. Coming back to center, back to that place that makes sense. The left leg's going to send back, the right arm forward. If this is a bit too much, then keep that right hand planted on the floor. Nice long line of energy from the fingertips to the toes. Breathe in. And then breathe out to plant the right hand, swivel on this right knee and plant the left toes. So we're in a modified side plank here. Again, this super long line of energy from the left toes all the way to the left fingertips. Stacking the left hip on top of the right. And then just giving ourselves some big shoulder circles here. And notice when you leave the body. Notice when you start thinking about the chores that you've got to do, all of those tasks. Or even when you think, oh, I'm not flexible enough for this. Notice when you drop back into the head rather than being physically in the body. And bring yourself back. Sensations and breath. Press off the right hand. And then keep this right hip above the right knee. Turn the toes out so we're opening this femur up into our gate pose. Reaching the arms out, palms down. Left hand on the inside of that left thigh as we reach all the way over with the right. Coming back to center, inhale. Exhale to gate. Inhale to center. Exhale to our gate, Parigasana. Inhale to center. Exhale, let's hold our gate here. So opening through the right rib cage, the right hip, finding the space in the right side of the waist. Breathing deeply here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming back to center, planting the right hand. And finding our way all the way back to our tabletop. And giving the hips a swivel round. One more time, finding some freedom in our spines. Beautiful, coming back to center. The left arm extends forwards this time. The right leg extends back. Point the toes. Nice long line here. And even in these holds, how can we soften here? How can we go into the discomfort and soften at the center rather than running away or avoiding? How can we meet this moment exactly as it is? Plant the left hand, swivel on that left knee. And we're in our modified side plank, pointing the right toes, right arm reaches over the ear. And then let's give ourselves some space in the shoulders, giving ourselves some shoulder circles. in for just a breath of stillness, of silence. And then pressing off the left hand, come into center to our gate. Turning the right toes out. So again, we're opening up that thigh bone. Left hip above the left knee as we reach over with the left arm. The right arm slides down the inside of that right leg. Inhale back to center. Good. Exhale to reach. Inhale to center. Exhale to reach. Inhale to center. Last time, exhale to reach. Parigasana gate pose. Hold here. Open up the left shoulder. And then coming back to center, planting the hands, that left hand into our side plank and back into tabletop. And then just taking the knees apart, sinking the hips towards the heels and just finding our way into a moving child's pose. So moving the hips from side to side and just asking for some space in those hips. Letting the belly soften between the thighs. And asking ourselves the question, what is alive for us in this moment? And even though it's very human to do so, trying not to answer this question with putting any positivity or negativity onto it. Whatever is happening is happening. It's not good, it's not bad, there's no positive, no negative. It just is. Coming back into our tabletop, rolling up. Tucking the toes, lifting the hips and bringing ourselves into our first downward facing dog. So keeping the knees nice and bent at first as we press the heart back towards the thighs. And then slowly, slowly, slowly feeling the space in these hamstrings. Can we start to straighten through the legs any amount? Press the heels down towards the earth. Press into the thumb and the first finger, and then just give the head a shake or a nod. Any tension from the head and the neck. Big breath in through the nose. Breath out through the mouth. Let's go one more time. Breath in through the nose. And breath out through the mouth. Starting to walk the feet slowly, slowly up towards the hands. Take a breath in, fingertips to shins, create a flat back. And breath out to forward fold. Bend the knees, take opposite hand to opposite elbow. And just take a swish and a sway from side to side, letting the head hang heavy. Accepting wherever it is we are in our bodies. And our bodies may not look or feel the same as they did 5, 10, 15 years ago. But seeing if we can be okay with that and bring this sense of loving and acceptance and just friendliness to ourselves and our bodies. Releasing the hands, rolling up through the spine for 3, 2, 1. Take an inhale to reach up. And an exhale to bring the hands together down through the forehead, the nose, the mouth, the throat, the heart. And eventually placing one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart space. Filling these sacred areas with our breath, with our life force. Feeling the expansion as we breathe in. And then the softening as we breathe out. And with the hands on the belly, just taking this body scan from the top of the head, down the face, the neck, the shoulders, the arms, the chest, the heart, the back, the belly, the hips, down the legs and into the feet. Feeling this rooting down through the soles of the feet. Being alive to this moment through the sensations that are in our bodies. Release the hands. Come to stand at the top of your mat. Feet hips width apart, Tadasana. Wrap the shoulders back, the palms face forward. And then take a breath in as we reach all the way up to the sky. Lengthen here. Breathe out to fold forward, hinge from the hips. Swan dive down to our Uttanasana fold. We're moving slowly here. Take a breath in to our flat back. And a breath out to plant the hands, stepping back to plank. Pausing in plank for just 3, 2, and 1. Dropping the knees, hugging the elbows into the sides of the body as we take a slow lower down. Good, bring the hands beside the chest. Widen the legs a little bit so we've got some space in our lower back. And we're not going to press the hands into the floor here, we're going to hover them. So as we inhale, lift the chest, hover the hands into our baby cobra. And exhale to release back down. Breath in, everything lifts up. Keep the feet planted on the ground. And as we breathe out, everything lowers. Breath in to lift. Breath out to lower. Last time, breathe in to lift. And breathe out to lower. This time, press the hands down into the sides of the chest, elbows face back. Keep the chin tucked into the chest as we slowly press into the hands and we start to lift the chest. Okay, keep this conversation with your body here. So the body may say stop at a certain point, especially the lower back. Or we may be able to start to straighten through the arms. The chin stays tucked into the chest. And then making it our full cobra by lifting the gaze, opening through the throat and just feeling that sense of expansion, of widening across the collarbones, of softness in the heart, and peeling it back down, belly, chest, pressing into the hands, coming into our tabletop, tucking the toes, lifting the hips, downward facing dog. The right leg sweeps up to the ceiling in our three-legged dog. Open up that hip so the right knee faces towards the sky, and we'll create some space here by giving that right knee some circles. And these circles can be as big or as small as you'd like. And taking those circles the opposite direction, just 3 in the opposite direction. And then eventually three-legged dog, inhale. Exhale, slowly bring in that right knee towards the nose. Good, 2 more times here. Breath in. We are moving intentionally and slowly, reaching the right leg up. Breath out as we bring that right knee towards the nose. That left knee can always be dropped into our tabletop. Inhale, right leg lifts. Okay, exhale, we're going to step this right foot through slowly, slowly. We might need to give it a bit of a nudge. As we step that right foot through, drop the back knee, and then take an inhale to reach all the way up towards the sky. Level out the hips, pull the right hip back, the left hip forward. Left fingertips drop down towards the left thigh or maybe a block or the floor as we reach over with the right, creating a side bend. Breath in to reach. Breath out, right fingertips drop, reaching towards the left. Breath in to reach. And breath out, hands together at the heart. Send the heart forward as we hook the left elbow over the right, stacking elbow on top of elbow, and taking our gaze up towards the sky. Just wringing out our spine here. Coming back to center, bringing the hands towards the chest. Taking an inhale, we're backing off this right knee and straightening. Taking the arms out nice and wide. We are opening, we're saying yes. We are saying, what else have you got? And as we exhale, we're bending back into this front knee, wrapping the arms around the self and dropping the chin into the chest. 2 more times, breath in as we straighten, we open, we say yes. And breath out as we pull all that in towards us, everything that we want and that we need. Last time, breath in to open and straighten. And breath out, pull it back in, give yourself that hug, wrapping your arms around yourself, and just this reminder that we have everything inside of us that we need. Releasing the fingertips towards the ground. Taking a breath into plank and a breath out to drop the knees, come down on towards the belly. And then we'll go for that cobra again. So pressing the hands into the sides of the chest, chin tucks in towards the chest, elbows back as we start to peel the body very, very slowly up. And then at the top, we create that full cobra, lifting up the chin, opening the throat, shoulders peel back. And exhale, release down towards the ground. Press back into our tabletop. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. Breath in through the nose. Breath out, let it go through the mouth. Last one. What is no longer serving you? What feels heavy? Breathe in. And breathe out. Beautiful. This time the left leg lifts up towards the sky, 3-legged dog. Breathe out. The left knee bends, points towards the sky as we give ourselves 3 hip circles in one direction. And come in the opposite direction. Left leg up towards the sky, inhale. Exhale, left knee towards the nose as if we're moving through honey here. Breath in, left leg lifts. Again, we can have that right knee drop to make it a little bit more accessible. Exhale, left knee in towards the nose, or just as far as we can get it. Last time, breath in. Move into the discomfort, breath out to step this left foot forward. Drop the back knee as we take a breath in. So our Anjayanasana, leveling out the hips. Sinking into this front hip, reaching up, 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 out of the ribs, out of the hip points. Drop the right fingertips nice and lazy as we reach over with the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale, drop the left, reach over with the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale, hands towards the chest. Reach forward with the heart. Hooking the right elbow on the side of the left knee. Stack that left elbow on top of the right. And use this resistance to help pull you through. Inhale back to center. Exhale, reach all the way up once again. And then this time, inhale, straighten through that left leg. So we're coming nice and tall with the spine. Open up through the arms, invite whatever in that you would like. And exhale, bend into that front knee. Wrap your arms around yourself. I have everything that I need. Breath in to straighten, to open, to expand. Breath out. I have everything that I need. Breath in. I have everything that I need. Good. Last time. Breathe in. And breathe out, sinking back into that front knee. Planting the fingertips by the side of that front foot. Stepping back to plank on our inhale. Exhale, maybe we drop the knees or come forward on the toes as we slowly lower down to the belly and the chest. Untuck the toes, breath in to cobra, tuck the chin to the chest until that last minute where we open everything up. And exhale, releasing all the way down. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog, move through here. Breath in to come forward to plank. And breath out, bend the knees, wavy dog, nice and slowly. Breath in to plank. Breath out, bend the knees, scoot the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Last time, breath in. And breath out. Drop the knees, nice and wide, take the big toes together. Sink the heels, the hips towards the heels here. Again, into this moving child's pose. Using the body as this portal to presence. And how can we soften even just 1% more in this very moment? Is there anything that we can just start to say, I don't need this. This is not serving me. And taking one final breath. And as we exhale, either lion's breath through the mouth, sticking the tongue out. And last one. This time we're going to lip blubber out through the mouth. Good, just using all these different types of exhales to just let go of whatever it is that's built up inside of us. Take a breath in to come to tabletop, breath out. Lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Breath in, the right leg lifts to the sky. Breath out, we step the right foot outside of the right hand into our lizard lunge. And just giving ourselves a roll around here. And maybe our hands are on blocks. Maybe that left knee is down. And maybe we just have these tiny, tiny circles And we take those circles in the opposite direction. Staying with our breath the whole time. When we leave, we come back time and time again. Drop the back knee. Press that right knee away so we open up into our twist. Fill those spaces. And come back to center. Take the right toes out and let's bring the left foot outside of the left hand. So we are in our Malasana here. Maybe we just have this rock from side to side. Feeling into whatever is there in our hips. Good, and then come into a place in the center, placing the hands together at the chest, lengthening through the spine. We may even have a bolster or a block underneath the hips to really allow ourselves to soften into this shape. As we find some stillness and some silence. We meet ourselves and our breath exactly where we are, and we practice staying and softening at our edge. Beautiful. The hands release down. We'll step back into our plank. Drop the knees, hug the elbows in, all the way down to the ground. This time of flowing cobra, take the hands out nice and wide, fingertips plug in, elbows to the sky. As we inhale, peel the chest up. The throat opens at the top, and as we exhale, everything slides back down. Breath in, plug the hips into the mat as we peel the chest up. Breath out, like a moving meditation. Linking breath to movement. Breath in. And breath out. She's just using my foot as her pillow. And take a breath in. So our normal cobra. Oh, I'm so sorry, Dutchie. I'm going to have to move my foot. Tucking the toes, lifting the hips. Downward facing dog. Breath in, the left leg lifts towards the sky. And breath out, the left foot steps outside of the left hand. And once again, finding that space. Maybe asking ourselves that question one more time. What is alive for us at the minute? Is it joy? Is it peace? Is it resistance? Is it boredom? Is it frustration? Is it, I've got to be somewhere else, I've got to be doing something else? And just notice, that's okay. Just notice. And then when we start to allow, when we start to let go of that resistance, of that contraction, that's where the magic of aliveness really comes through. So just let it all go. Go into the center of it and just let it go. Drop the back knee. Press that left knee out. Open up through the chest. And maybe we come onto the little toe side of that left foot if we want some more space in the hips. Coming back to center. Once again, sliding this right foot outside of the right hand, toes out, heels in. Side to side in our Malasana. Coming back to center, hands plant together, press the insides of the knees away. Press through the feet as we start to slowly, this is a slow flow, press up. Feel into that resistance in the thighs, that work, that effort in the thighs. And then when we get halfway, we come back down. Whew. I am sorry. How can we stay here? How can we practice staying with our bodies, staying with the discomfort and diving into it to soften? Soften at the center. Inhale, we come up. Exhale, we lower back down. I promise it's just got one more. Inhale to come up. And we're going to come fully up this time. Breathe in. Maybe we come onto the tiptoes as we reach up. We open. We say yes. We fall. We wobble. And we exhale, plant the heels, bring the hands down to the center of the chest. Into our Tadasana. Let the hands drop by the side. Take a big shoulder roll. Breath in. And breathe out. Just let the shoulders fall down. One hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. Check in with these spaces inside of yourself. Notice how you are responding. Notice the space that may have opened physically or energetically. Release the hands. Step out nice and wide here. Good. And we're going to take a big breath in, so reach up. And as we breathe out through the mouth, clearing the space around. Good, 2 more times. Breathe in, bend the knees, reach up. And then that lion's breath as we stick the tongue out, clear the space, breathe out. Last time, breath in. And we've got my favorite, that lip blubber, breathe out, clear the space. Lovely. Warrior 2 towards the front of the mat. So turn the left toes towards the front, bend into the front knee. A really soft warrior 2 here. So we don't want this strict, rigid form. We want to allow ourselves to be soft. And what I'm going to invite you to do is just to flow back and forth with your warrior 2, your Virabhadrasana. And maybe you even find some movement in the spine. So our legs stay as they are. We stay strong in these legs through the feet. We've got our strong foundations. And then this allows the upper body to be free, to find that space. Good. And then let's sink into this front leg, this left leg. This is where we find a little bit more strength. We find some more structure. We need both. This is where we invite ourselves to soften in the strength. We find this balance between our effort and our ease. Flip the front palm, raise it to the ceiling, breath in. And breath out. Drop that right elbow towards the left thigh, reach all the way over with the right. Breathe in to warrior 2. And breathe out to straighten through the front leg, turning the toes out, the heels in, and flowing into our goddess here. So moving through the hips, maybe the shoulders have a roll, maybe some rotation in the spine. Maybe we have a little bit of a shake in our goddess. So when we say no to life, when we contract, when we close, this makes us very rigid in our bodies. It builds up this stress, this tension. We find that we've got all of these aches and pains and that we just can't move in the way that we once did. So just practice this loosening here. Maybe we look like little orangutans. And again, this firm foundation of the feet, this is what allows us to be safe to explore in the rest of the body. We always need this grounding, this connection, this sense of safety. Okay. Goddess. Cactus the arms, sink into the hips, roll the thighs out, present the heart. Activate this inner goddess, whatever that means to you, for 3. For 2, how are you showing up in the world? It's enough. It's always enough, and it's always been enough, and it will always be enough. And 1. Good. Straighten through the arms, so through the legs. Turn the back toes out, the left toes in. And again, we'll take this super soft warrior 2 towards the back of the mat this time. Letting go of whatever form or shape we think we should take. And then inviting in that more solid sense of structure, sinking into this front knee, reaching out, palms down, gazing over the front fingertips. Softening the shoulders down, spreading through the collarbones. Breath in, flip the front palm, raise it to the ceiling. Breath out to our side angle, right elbow towards the right thigh, reach over with the left. Breath in to center. Breath out, straighten through the legs, toes out, heels in, and once again, this flowing, loosey-goosey goddess, whatever it is that we need here. Just allowing yourself to be a bit untamed. So again, maybe we have that little bit of a shake. Maybe it doesn't look like a goddess, but maybe it feels like it. Allow yourself to just access joy. Whatever it is here that can bring you joy, you deserve it. Just give it to yourself. Maybe we do another lip blubber. Okay, and goddess. Find that stillness, find that silence, maybe the eyes close. What's going on inside? Can we sink any deeper? Dive into that resistance, soften around the edges. Approach with friendliness, with compassion, with love. And release, straightening through the legs. Maybe we just give the thighs a tap to say, I'm here, I'm with you, I'm sorry, we're done. Turning towards the front, once again, warrior 2, just so we can exit. Big inhale. And exhale, windmill the arms to frame the front foot, step back to plank. Drop the knees, down onto the belly and the chest. Release the legs, flowing cobra. Take a breath in, plug into the fingertips, lift, lift, lift through the heart. And a breath out to peel it back down. Inhale to lift. And exhale to lower. Use the breath here. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Our regular cobra, Bhujangasana, inhale to lift. And exhale to bring the hips back towards the heels, child's pose. Slide in the fingertips up towards the knees, lengthening or widening the knees out. Taking the left hand by the side of the left hip, raising up through the hips as we just let that right hand dangle down behind us, opening through the chest, sweeping across the front. Take a big inhale. Right fingertips plant, left reaches up into our flowing camel. Good, sink in the hips, bringing the knees hips width apart. Inhale as we rise up, reaching up through these fingertips. Exhale, cactus the arms, present the heart. Inhale, plant the hands into our tabletop and come into our cow pose, arching the spine. Exhale into our cat, rounding through the spine. Good. Inhale, the right fingertips sweep up towards the sky. Exhale, we thread the needle, come down onto the right ear. Inhale, right fingertips sweep up, open through the chest. Exhale, back to center. Left fingertips sweep up on the inhale. Exhale, we thread underneath. Inhale, we sweep up. Exhale, we plant down. Inhale, hands sweep back towards the knees. We're back where we started. Big exhale. Whether that's out through the mouth, lip blubber, a lion's breath. One more time, the right fingertips by the side of the right hip. Big breath in to open, flowing camel. Breath out to plant the hips. Sweep across, breath in, the left fingertips plant, reaching up. Squeeze the glutes. Breath out, plant the hips. Knees, hips width apart. Breathe in, we lengthen. Breathe out, we cactus. Squeeze the shoulder blades together at the back. Breathe in, plant the hands into our cow. Breathe out into our cat. Round the spine, belly button towards the spine. Breathe in, the left fingertips sweep all the way up this time, that thoracic rotation. Breathe out to thread the needle. Breathe in, left fingertips sweep up. And breathe out to plant the hand. Opposite side, right arm sweeps up. Breath out to thread underneath. Breath in to reach. And breath out to plant. Breath in to slide the hands back. And breath out, once again, fostering this inner connection. One hand to heart, one hand to belly. Close the eyes. Tune in. What is alive for us here? What is going to allow us to soften at our edges? How can we say yes to whatever is here? Good, bad, joyful, sad, anger, hurt, whatever it is, how can we say yes? Release the hands. And we're going to find our way onto our spine. Coming all the way down. Nice and slowly, placing the heels in front and then just taking that super, super, super slow roll down. Bringing the right knee in. When we get there, extending the left leg out. And then the right knee comes across the body into our supine twist, plugging the right shoulder down as we gaze over that right shoulder. And we begin to just find some space once again in our breath. This portal, this access point for bringing ourselves home. Tara Brach calls it a refuge, our refuge. So sometimes it's tempting to find these false refuges in our vices or the things that we get addicted to. Sometimes it's social media, sometimes it's reaching for that glass of wine. And we don't judge ourselves for this ever, but we are curious and we ask ourselves that inquiry of, what am I running away from? What is it that I am avoiding? In what way am I saying no to life here? And when we say no to life, this is the moment that we lose our power. We lose our power, we lose our freedom. Beautiful, bringing ourselves back onto the spine, hugging the knees in towards the chest. Just taking a little rock, side to side. And then the left knee in, the right leg out. As we pull that right knee across the body into our supine twist. Maybe you want the right knee to bend. Did I say left knee? I meant left knee. Right hand, left knee. And then we gaze over the left shoulder if that's comfortable for the neck. Last breath. And coming back to center, Dutchie's decided she's had enough of the filming. She's going into her Shavasana. Bring the knees in towards the center. Have a little rock from side to side. And then happy baby, taking hold of the outsides of the feet or the shins. Oh, this feels extra, extra good for me today. I don't know what it is, but I hope it feels as good for you as it does for me. Pulling the knees down towards the ground. It's so funny, different days just bring different joy with the shapes that we make. Even downward facing dog, I feel like every single day there's just something different. And there's new joy in it every day. So I hope this happy baby is as joyful for you as it is for me. Okay, we're going to prepare for our Shavasana. So wherever you are, if you want any socks, we're just going to take a short one. But please feel free to pause the video now or end the video now if you want that longer Shavasana, and the journal prompts will be below in the info section. So just get nice and comfortable. And then just release. Allow whatever did or didn't happen today to just float away. However you think or you thought you were supposed to show up. Just let it go. We have absolutely nothing to do here. We've got no one that we're supposed to be. We've got nowhere that we're supposed to go. We just have this practice of softening, of meeting our edges, meeting our discomfort and saying, yes, I may not like it, but I say yes and I consent. I consent to whatever it is that's happening here in my body, in my external environment. It's okay. And notice the opening that happens when we say these words to ourselves, when we finally stop fighting. When we look outside and we see that it's pouring down with rain and we say, okay, that's how it is. When we experience a pain in our body, it's so counterintuitive. We fight against this pain, we grip and we grasp, and we end up creating all of this tension around this original pain, and the pain grows and grows and grows. And as difficult as it is, and as difficult as it can be, the practice is really to go into our pain, physical, mental, emotional, to say, I see you and I allow you to be here. I'm not going to fight against you anymore. I allow. And just see what happens. Just be curious about what happens with this allowing. And our journal prompts are really simple. And we can reflect on them now as we lie here together. And I'd like you to notice or to reflect on what happens in the body when your body is saying no. When the simplest thing maybe, again, you look outside, you see that it's raining, you resist and you wish it was different. Or you're in conversation with someone and it's not going the way that you want it to, or there's something in life that's happening that's not going the way that you would choose it to be. What does it feel like in the body when you're contracting, when you're resisting? What happens in the breath? What happens in the mind? And what are the consequences? How does it make you feel? And then what happens when we say yes? What happens to us physically, mentally, and emotionally when our bodies say yes? When we allow, when we accept, and when we approach this life and these emotions and all of these external events with this sense of compassion and friendliness and kindness. happens when we say yes. And maybe right now there is a situation that you're trying to run from. Or maybe there's something that's happening in your body. Can you just practice saying, yes, I allow you to be here. And just staying with this sensation of this yes for just another moment. And then starting to take some deeper breaths. Again, if you want to stay, then please stay for however long. We'll rub the hands together, create some warmth and some heat. And then place the hands just on the sides of the temples, and then the throat, the heart, and the belly. These sacred yet vulnerable spaces, this inner connection. And starting to hug the knees in towards the chest, rolling onto the right or the left hand side, giving yourself this final squeeze of gratitude, of love, of kindness. Before finding our way to center. And reminding ourselves of the Rumi quote, "Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you've built against it and embrace them." And with that, we'll take the hands together, the thumbs between the eyebrows, to acknowledge the sacredness, the power of our thoughts and of our mind. To the throat, to acknowledge the sacredness, the power of our voice and our truth and our words. And to the heart space, to acknowledge the sacredness of our big, beautiful hearts. And all of this love that's inside of us and all around us. Big breath in through the nose and out through the mouth to seal our practice together. And I bow my head in deep, deep gratitude to you. Namaste.